I don't want to scare you, but today we're covering hot tub horror stories, actual true real life stories of really bad things that have happened in hot tubs. And I'm telling you that not to scare you, not to shock you, but so that you know what the dangers are so that you can avoid those dangers with your hot tub or if you're traveling and happen to use one at a hotel. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Jeff Campbell from Hot Tub Owner HQ, and I'm glad you're here with me. So according to Texas A&M University, and they are based right here in Texas where I am, up to 95% of hot tubs actually contain levels of fecal matter. And yeah, I'm talking poop. And that same study found that 81% actually had fungus growing in the hot tubs, probably in the plumbing, because you're not likely to see that on the surface of the water, but biofilm and other kinds of fungus that could be growing inside the plumbing of your hot tub. And 34% of hot tubs contain staph infection. That can lead to things like toxic shock syndrome and symptoms of food poisoning, nausea, stomach cramping, things of that nature. Cellulitis and boils on your skin. Nasty stuff. You don't want a staph infection in your hot tub. And don't worry, in a minute, I'm going to get into some of the things that you can do to prevent all of these things in your hot tub. Now, the Consumer Product Safety Commission found that about 300 people a year actually die from being in hot tubs. And in addition to that, about 6,000 people a year have serious slip and fall accidents, mostly getting in or out of the hot tub, go figure. And the reason for that, of course, is that oftentimes you're stepping out of a hot tub onto some steps like I have down here, and your feet are obviously wet. And if there was any level of like foam in the hot tub or anything like that that shouldn't be in your hot tub, that's going to be on your feet. Could make those steps even more slippery, but also getting into the hot tub, kind of a big step. You got to step here and then step down into the main part if your hot tub has kind of that well in the middle of the hot tub. So lots of different ways and places where you can slip getting in and out of your hot tub. And again, 6,000 people a year get injured in slip and fall accidents in hot tubs. Between 1999 and 2013, guess what? There were 427 drowning deaths in hot tubs. Some of those are definitely going to be alcohol related because alcohol and hot tubs are never a great idea. It's also never a great idea to get in your hot tub when you're totally by yourself, because if something happens, you have some sort of health issue, you get overheated, dehydrated, things of that nature, there's no one around that can help you. And I have 3 kids, so this next statistic is actually shocking, but 1 child every 6 days dies in a hot tub. And in a second, I'm going to actually get into some specifics about children and hot tub use. But first, if you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, smash that like button for me. Destroy it right now. It sends a great signal to YouTube. They help me grow my channel, and it's a great way for you to say thank you to me for taking the time to make these videos. If you're old enough, you might remember something called Legionnaire's disease, and it's also known as Legionella. It's basically a type of bacterial infection. It is very common to find it in warm water, just like the warm water in your hot tub. And even as recently as this year, in Contra Costa County, which is basically in Northern California, there have been 2 deaths from Legionnaire's disease related to hot tub use at a hotel. And even worse than that, every single year in the United States, between 8,000 and 18,000 people actually contract Legionnaire's disease. Not all of them from hot tub use. Again, it thrives and grows in warm water. So that could be a number of different places, including warm water like springs and rivers and things like that too. But hot tubs are probably the most common place where it happens because of poor water quality sanitation. There's another kind of infection, and I might butcher this name. After all, I'm not a linguist. I'm a hot tub lover. But Cryptosporidium. Sounds like something you'd buy when you're getting your Bitcoins, right? I don't know. But it affects the GI tract, the gastrointestinal tract in your body. Obviously, as that name implies, it's going to lead to stomach cramping, vomiting, nausea, things of that nature. And that's actually the most common recreation water-based bacterial infection in the United States. Hot tub folliculitis. Again, I hope I'm saying that correctly. And that's actually an infection of the hair follicles in your skin. So the infection kind of gets down there at the root of your hair, either arm hair, head hair, whatever. And the underlying bacteria behind hot tub folliculitis is Pseudomonas aeruginosa. I probably butchered that completely, but whatever it is, that's the underlying bacteria that causes hot tub folliculitis. And that's a very common bacteria to find in hot tub water. Luckily, in the case of that one, it usually clears up on its own in about 2 weeks. And then the next thing I want to talk about, we don't want to talk about it just like we don't want to talk about Bruno. The next thing we don't want to talk about is getting shocked by your hot tub. And I'm not talking hot tub shock, I'm talking electrocution. And the U.S. Consumer Products Safety Commission found that over a 17-year period, there were actually 47 very serious incidents involving electrocution in a hot tub or actual deaths. Now, that number is relatively low given that was over a 17-year period, but still, you do not want to be electrocuted in your hot tub. So what could possibly cause that? Well, obviously we know that somehow water is coming into contact with the electricity in your hot tub. And most hot tubs, this kind of hot tub, are 220 volt, 50 amp hot tubs. That is a lot of power. That would definitely kill you if you came into contact with that while you were soaking in the water. Modern hot tubs, of course, have a lot of built-in safety features to prevent that from happening. So if your hot tub is relatively new, relatively in good shape, you haven't done any jury rigging or DIY repairs that could be considered a little questionable, the likelihood of you getting electrocuted or having any level of shock while you're in your hot tub's water is virtually non-existent. But if you have done any modifications, if the hot tub is really old and not in very good repair, you are definitely taking a strong risk by continuing to use it and not having a professional take a look at it and get it fixed up for you. The good news is almost everything in modern hot tubs is easily replaced. I have actually bought an old hot tub off Craigslist and then replaced every major component in it, from the heater, the control pack, the pump, the blower, etc. Even fixed some leaks that way too. I bought the hot tub for only 150 bucks. So it was a great way to go. Did take some elbow grease on my part. I had no idea how to do any of those things, but you know, there's a million YouTube videos on stuff like that that are easy to find. So I mentioned that I wanted to talk about how to prevent some of these issues in your hot tub's water, electrocution aside. So most of these things can be cleared up by doing some basic maintenance on your hot tub on a regular basis. And that includes adding sanitizer every few days. I use a floater with bromine tablets where I put 5 bromine tablets in there once a week. Just throw it in, forget about it. I don't really have to do anything beyond that. Then you shock your hot tub once a week. You rinse your filters at the kitchen sink with a sprayer about every 3 weeks. You do a deep chemical soak of them about every 3 months. You replace them every 1 to 2 years. Those are the basic things that you need to do aside from balancing the alkalinity and pH. And a lot of the time, the alkalinity and pH won't fluctuate radically unless there's been heavy use or some sort of contaminant. But most of the time, that'll stay relatively flat, and it's the sanitizer and shock that you really have to worry about. Then every 3 months or so, you drain your hot tub's water and you refill it with fresh, clean water. But before you do that, you add a biofilm remover, which gets rid of any bacteria that might be hiding in the plumbing. It's really, really easy to do. And I do that by adding a product called Oh Yuck Healthy Hot Tub Cleaner. I pour it into the hot tub's water. I circulate it with the jets on for 1 hour before I drain the hot tub. And then when I refill it, it's good to go. No bacteria in the hot tub, guaranteed. But if you want to watch my video on the DIY hot tub repair I did, check out this video right up here on my channel. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.